Hello everybody, and welcome back to Aska and our lovely guide. And today I decided that since our last video was a little bit laxing in information, that I'd make this one a little bit more filling, more satisfying. There's some foreshadowing here for what's coming next. We're going to be building the cooking house and the farm. Now, these two are going to work together to really up the game when it comes to food. Okay. Now, another thing that I've done is I have added a fence to this side of this area because the smokers were getting a little aggressive and they were starting to really get into the food that I didn't want them to get into. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and process these whites. I'm probably going to add more to this fence, and I'm going to let these guys work on the settlement, on this cooking house, which I have pinned, so they will work on that first before they work on anything else. And then once that's built, we will come back and we'll talk about why that's going to be so important. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Alrighty, so we're back with our fully built cooking house. And we're about to go through the reason why this thing is so amazing and why, as soon as you can, we really want to go ahead and get started on it. Okay. So part of the reason is, one, you're going to get more out of your food. Okay. So this will allow you to create meals, and meals will give your villagers and yourself more satisfaction. They'll fill your hunger bar way more than just the sum of it, or than just the raw ingredients, right? The sum of the ingredients is better than just the ingredients itself. It will also give you it will also fill your water meter, right? And it gives a morale boost when your villagers eat some good meals, okay? It gives you the benefit of the same thing as before, where when you're cooking meals or you're cooking foods, it's going to reset that spoil timer. And any of the benefits that normally come with some of the raw meals. So, for example, eating a raw onion gives you some healing and some help with indigestion. Garlic gives you some warming effects. Well, making that into a meal with garlic or onion will also give you those effects, just much more potent. So let's go ahead and get into this and see what we have. Now, we have a spot for veggies, we have a spot for meat, we have your ingredients here, and we have some water, okay? Now, you'll notice that's all we're getting. There's not much else here, all right? Now, if we check here on the information screen, we can assign workers. Matilda is still homeless. Let's deal with that really quick. I'm sorry, Matilda. No, empty bed available. Oh, it's up here. Oops. That's that's my bad. Yep. So let's give Matilda a place to live. That is why she's been working all throughout the night. I'm sorry, Matilda. You're probably going to work a little bit more. All right, so we're going to manage workers, or yeah. And then let's assign, for example, Era. Okay. Now, what this is going to do is Era is going to be able to craft the meals automatically. She'll grab all the materials. She'll put them in the crockpot, as it were. She'll make our meals and she'll set them out. All right. So let's go ahead and assign her a task. Add task. These are our recipes. Now, I just finished telling you that this thing is amazing for cooking foods. Why are there only 2 recipes? What's going on? Why have you lied to us? I have not lied to you. Part of the way that this game, or that the devs have created this cooking house system is that you have to experiment with ingredients to learn new recipes. Okay. So right now I can have Ira do berry compots, which whatever that means. I can have her do berry jams. Okay. Those are very viable, right? But I can't have her do anything else because we haven't discovered any other recipes. So let's go ahead and mess around with the Crockpot and get us some recipes. Now, one thing that is important to note, whenever you go to make things, as of the testing that I've done so far, okay, I still got to do more testing later on, but as of this testing right now, you really only want to be making foods with 2 liters of water or 4 liters of water, okay? Never less. And part of the reason for that is that when you use 2 liters of water, you're going to be getting stews, or you're getting 4 liters of water, you're going to be getting soups, okay? But it doesn't change the strength. As far as I've seen, it does not change the strength of the meal, right? So just having it have less water does not make it any better. The stews are going to be better than the soups, but you want to get the most bang for your ingredient buck, okay? So the way we're going to test that is, we're just going to go ahead and toss 5 carrots on there with some water, and we're going to go ahead and turn it on and start cooking, okay? Now, this is going to take a little while. And once this stuff is cooked, you're going to notice that it's going to sit there in the pot unless you come and actually open that pot. It is very important that when you're trying out new recipes, you are here with the pot. Do not walk away from it, right? It is very, very tempting. I know it is very tempting to walk away from what it is that you're creating, to go do something else really quick and then come back. But oftentimes what that leads is you forget about it, like I forget about my stuff all the time in the barbecue, and then you have burned ingredients, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and take these guys out. That's gonna be 4 meals. 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are all carrot soup, okay? So we have now made 4 meals of carrot soup. We're gonna go ahead and put them right here. And she's going to go ahead and take over the crock pot for a second. But I'm going to manage workers. And if we look at their task list and we add a task, now carrot soup is available, right? That is awesome. So go ahead and ask her to make 4 of those. And she'll actually try to make 4 carrot soup, okay? Now, I don't remember what benefits carrots give you when you eat them cooked, but I'm assuming that it's pretty decent. So experimenting is going to be part of how this system works, right? You want to be experimenting around. That's going to give you a lot of recipes to try out. And for example, I'm going to try this garlic one out with 4 liters of water. Go ahead and cook. And actually, let's I'm going to dump a lot of these things in here. That way I can draw from them immediately. See. I don't think eggs can be cooked with. I could be wrong though. So, yeah, you can't drop eggs in here. So eggs might be one of those situations that you cannot cook with. All right, I'm gonna grab one of these. This is a garlic soup, okay? Now, watch what happens when I drink this garlic soup. Boom, bunch of buffs, okay? One of these buffs is Burst Heal, and one of these buffs is going to be Winter's Cough Cure, okay? So if you get a cough, you can drink this, you no longer have a cough, okay? So really, really, really powerful thing to create, all right? Now, the other thing that you need to be concerned with is water. So doing this is going to consume quite a decent amount of water. Look at this guy, look at this guy. Come on. I'm going to deal with you really quick. Let's deal with this guy really fast, okay? Because these pests, they're pests. All right, drop him here. No. You're gonna stay right there, and I'm going to beat you to a pulp. You annoying little psycho. There we go. I am, of course, very, very tired. So let's go ahead and rest. All right. But yeah, so experimenting around with the foods is going to be important. Having a water source nearby is going to be very important. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put 2 rain collectors right next to the cooking house. That way getting water doesn't require me to go halfway across the map to do so, okay? Because right now the only water we have is up here or by the workshop. And this is empty. And this is quickly going to become very empty, so... Let me grab a little bit of water here. Drink some water. So that's why it's important, those wells, to just kind of cap them off with something so you can get that stuff back, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and set up to build. We're going to go here with bushcraft, rain collectors. Unfortunately, the hitboxes on some of these buildings is enormous. And so you run into this issue where it's like, no, you cannot put that there. And it's like, dude, seriously? It's not that big. You can put that there. All right. Now she's done doing what she's doing. Now I'm going to continue to experiment. So what happens if I use mushrooms? All right. We add the 4 liters of water. Let's go ahead and cook that. So we're going to add here our garlic soup. We're going to add, oh, well, we don't have the other one. But yeah, experimenting is going to be key to making this thing a possibility. One key difference that I'm going to show you once I'm done with this mushroom soup is what it's going to do for us to reduce the amount of water. Okay. So now we have a mushroom soup. I'm going to go ahead and eat that. Awesome. Some of these meals will actually give you a buff to your energy. She's going over there to get some water as well. So it's important to keep an eye on which one those are. Some of those are going to be better than others, okay? And having an extra energy buff out on the field sometimes can be very, very good thing. So experiment away. As far as I've seen, you cannot go wrong with anything you make. So don't be afraid to try new things. Try and experiment. As far as I can tell, none of the ingredients ever go bad. Nothing gets mixed up and becomes an issue. So just do wild experiments and see what comes out of it. I haven't gotten a bad, quote unquote, bad food at all. Okay? Now, I'm curious to see what eggs come out because I have not had a chance to cook eggs in this before. So let's see what happens. Now, obviously, you're going to want raw ingredients. The system's not going to let you, or the cookhouse is not going to let you use cooked ingredients. Okay? So keep that in mind. Let's see what comes out of this. I'm curious. Doom, ding, ding, doom. Come on, come on. Oh, it's taking a while. Okay. Let's, well, we got our farm, which means we're going to have to start on that in a second. Come on. What is going to be in here? Oh, scrambled eggs. And it only made 2 of them. So that's something I didn't even know was a thing. Yeah, for some reason the wild eggs don't fit there, which is odd. Alrighty. Well, we got some new recipes, right? And we'll keep experimenting with the recipes and see what we come up with. I'm going to add the mushroom soup. I'm going to add the scrambled eggs. And I'm actually going to add this to the top just because we don't come up with eggs often, and I definitely want them to be used as soon as possible. Okay? Some of these foods seem to be much, much faster to cook than others, so that's important to know. All right, I'm going to let her take everything out of there real quick. And I want to see... Okay. I want to see something here real quick. Who's the... So what happens if I just do 2 water? I just ate that egg by accident. That is unfortunate. Not exactly what I wanted to happen, but... Let's experiment with just 2 liters of water. What happens when we do 2 liters of water? All right, let's cook that up. While that's cooking up, let's talk a little bit about the farm. So the farm is one of the other structures that is really, really important to set up because it will allow you to not only farm food, but also farm fibers. Fibers are one of the slowest things in this game to get, right? They're the slowest, one of the slowest things to collect. So you definitely want to be farming fiber as much as possible. Normally you'd be doing that through bark, but through here, we can actually have a flax farm that will generate us some passive fibers, okay? So, let's see what we got here. Well, still got a little bit to go. Now, to get started on the farm, you're going to have to hit T. That's going to open your farm menu. And it's going to allow you to build a farm crop plot. Sorry. Actually, I mean, don't take them off. Don't take them off. Oh, you crazy lady. Come here. Onion stews. So, because we put only a little bit of water in there, we got onion stews out of that, right? So that's important to note. We got much less yield out of it, so we only got 2 plates, but it's a more concentrated, quote unquote, concentrated thing. Okay, so keep that in mind when you are when you're walking around with certain things and you are unsure as to what to do with them. Sorry, my brain just had a brain fart. I just had a brain fart. It's late. That's probably the reason why. So keep that in mind when you don't have all the water in there. So if you do 1 or 2 liters of water, you're going to get a stew. If you do 3 and 4 liters of water, you're going to get a soup. That's why it's beneficial to just do 2 liters or 4 liters. Because if you do 3 liters of water, you're only going to get 3 servings of soup. So one of those ingredients is quote unquote wasted. Okay? Keep that in mind. So we're going to keep all this stuff on me. And then we're going to talk about this farm. So, start on the farm, we're going to hit T. We're going to build a crop plot. And the crop plots are going to be 4x4. Okay, that's what you're looking for as far as size go. 16 cells. 4x4 is the most obvious way of doing it. It doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to make it a 4x4. Like right here, I'm actually considering it doing oh well, yeah. 2 by 8's not going to work because it's too big. About nope, that's going to be missing a crop plot. Okay, so 4x4 it is. So, boom, we're going to build it. And the one thing with crop plots that you have to keep in mind is they are very expensive when it comes to some materials. That's 16 rope and 16 sticks that need to go in here just to build this crop plot. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this crop plot started. And then once I'm good to go, I will bring you guys back. Okay. Righty, so our farms are built, and just before we start actually looking at that, something important to note. So I did get rid of the person working this, and the reason I got rid of the person working this is because early on you're going to be wanting to experiment a lot just to find a lot of the recipes, right? And what that's going to cause is quite a bit of an overload in food, as you can see, right? So look at all the food I have. And I don't have the place to put it, right? There's a lot of food in here. So I'm going to go ahead and not have somebody cooking here. And every time I want to experiment on a recipe, what I'll do is I'll come back, I'll make a couple meals experimenting with some of the foods that we have, and that will actually create the meals for everybody to eat, right? Rather than having somebody here constantly making meals, which means that I can't experiment, because we definitely want to be experimenting as much as possible, right? Now, let's move on to the farm. Now, farms are tough. They are, they're very work intensive, okay? Right now there's no weeds, and when there is weeds, your guy's gonna have to go through them, right? And we have to till the soil, we have to do a bunch of things to it. So first, we need a worker. If we do not assign a worker, we cannot automate this process. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, excuse me, I'm going to come over here and make a rake. Boom, wood rake. I need a little bit more sticks. That is not an issue. Not a problem whatsoever. 1, 2, 3. I want to rake myself, so let's do, there we go, 9. Let's walk our butts over here, and let's make 1 rake and 2 rake, and we'll talk about all the extra stuff that showed up in just a bit. So we're going to open here, and we're going to drop this rake in there. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pick the person that I dismissed from over there. We're going to set them up over here. Manage workers. So that was her. She's got a mastery in agriculture, right? So she does really, really good with farming. I want to check because some of these guys not only have a mastery in agriculture, so excuse me, but they also have, yep, she has a green thumb. So she's going to be awesome to set up here. Let's go ahead and do that. Now that she's set up, we can hit Q on the field. and it's going to give us this menu. This menu basically lets us select which fruits we want to be planted, okay, or which crop rather, and it's going to let us assign that to each individual tile. That's important because, for example, this first one is going to be flax. If you click on the portrait in the center, it's actually going to open a radio menu that you can use, okay? This one is going to be flax, and I'm going to set up all of this stuff with just flax, okay? Because flax is something that we need a lot of, and right now we do have a decent amount of food. But you could have situations where you want to have two separate crops going. So let's say, for example, for some reason you want to have flax and we want to have berries. You can do that. Or you want to have segregated sections of flax, berry. You want to have every single crop growing on every single thing. You can do that. I wouldn't suggest it, but it can be done. So we're going to go ahead and go back to flax. And all of this is going to be flax, okay? We're going to save it, and that's going to show up here. Now, the ground has to be tilled, okay? As of right now, you can't really plant anything here. But what I want to do is, I'm going to go ahead and steal this guy's bed really quick, get some sleep in me, because doing farm work is actually quite intensive, okay? It takes a lot of physical labor to get farm work done. So I'm going to go ahead and get to sleep. Go ahead and get up. And let's go down here and let's go ahead and till the soil. Now look how slow this is. You have to beat on the square for all of this time just to get one square prepped, okay? That is the kind of ridiculousness we're talking about here, okay? Look at this. And then this is just tilling. When the weeds grow, we have to do this yet again to weed the crop. Now, obviously, we are very new to this. We have no farming experience whatsoever. So this is taking much longer than it would normally just because of that. But that's still very slow. Let's go ahead and come over here. I'm going to grab some flaxseed, which we should have plenty of. And I'm going to go ahead and plant the flaxseed. Okay. Now, we've planted this row of flaxseed. You're going to notice something else that's come up now. Now it's asking for water and compost, and it's giving us a growth meter. Okay. Now, each individual block here is going to ask for water. 1 unit of water is going to give 50% water. All right. So now technically these guys are going to grow. They're ready to go. It's important to note, though, that if we had compost, that would make things much better. And the way you get compost is it's rotten food. If you have rotten food around, which I think we possibly maybe hopefully stored some compost up here or some rotten food. Let me see. Maybe I don't know. Nope, we had some. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take that back. And we're going to go ahead and put it down here on our very first area. And 1 rot is going to give it 20 compost, okay? That's going to make it grow a little bit more. I have not had the chance to test to see if it's going to give you more of a yield, but it definitely makes it grow faster, okay? Now, I'm done with doing this. I'm obviously not going to continue doing this. But what I do want to do is I want to make sure that we set this up here with that in mind, right? We want them to have the tools ready for our farmer to come up here, grab what he needs, and go. All right. Now, you're going to notice this has a roof on it now, right? We did expand this. We set this up to expand, and it is now expanded fully. So we're going to open this workshop up because it's going to give us more options. So let's go ahead and manage workers, tasks. We have all this stuff in here. We're going to add our rake. We want to make sure that we always keep a rake here. That way our farmer can continue to do their work. And then we are going to add, actually the thing that I got to add is not going to be here, unfortunately. But I do have a simple bow now, and that came from upgrading the workshop pit, okay? And we do have bone-tipped arrows. So we're going to go ahead and assign 1 simple bow to be made and 10 bone-tipped arrows, okay? So now they're going to go around. They're going to make us bone-tipped arrows. They're going to make us a simple bow rather than a flimsy bow. And that is going to further increase our ability to get stuff done. So yeah, that basically does it for this kind of setup, right? So she'll slowly work on these crops, get us some flax going. There are little cubbies here that you can store stuff in. So this will be the food, and this will be the seed and fiber if they pick up any fiber. So definitely plenty of stuff to go here. Now you're gonna notice already this food is empty, probably because they've gathered way too much food. That does happen quite a bit. So we're gonna open this. Let's add. Oh, I don't have any water on me. That might be a bit of a problem. I don't have any water. All right. Let's do a little bit more experimentation. So I've done a couple different things. I am going to try a... I don't know if I did the gray mushrooms or the other mushrooms, but I think that's just going to give us a mushroom soup no matter what. So I want to say that I have seen the recipes. Yep, they're there. So we've tried onion soup, scrambled eggs, floating mushroom soup, meat soup, garlic, carrots, cabbage, berries. Excuse me. Sorry if I keep pausing. My throat's a little sore today. Let me see. We have ingredients here. Gotten eggs as well. Now you can mix berries together. It's kind of okay, I guess. It's not exactly my most liked way of doing it, but you can do that if you want to. Let's do something really strange, right? And a mushroom. And let's see what comes out. Okay? But yeah, that about does it for that. So now she's going to grab some seeds. She's going to spread some seeds around. Alright, we got our fence done. So now there shouldn't be any uncompleted projects. Got a bunch of shelters. And next time we'll be moving on to some of the bigger, better tools, how to get those, which is going to be our ultimate goal. And we're also going to be moving on to some of the actual full-on housing, like the chieftain's house and the cottage, which the chieftain's house, really good to have, gives you really, really good buff. The cottage, really good to have because it allows you to have 6 people in one singular building. So it's really, really nice to have. Okay, we're going to talk about the healing hut, which is probably something that we'll definitely try to build up next time, almost immediately. Yeah, so I just made a meat soup. Okay, so we put meat, mushrooms, cabbage, and berries, and still made a meat soup. Okay, so kind of sucky ingredients, right? Let's go ahead and put all this stuff in here. But yeah, you keep experimenting, see what you find, see what you can create. I definitely recommend making the soups and the stews as a what do you call it? As a setup. That way, when you do have a lot more ingredients to work with, right, and you're not starving for ingredients like onions or cabbages or meats or any of that kind of stuff, you can make stews. Stews are better than soup. It's just you're going to have a smaller yield. So keep that in mind. All right. I'm going to cook that to make a stew there. But yeah, that should be it for today. I will think I'll see you guys next time. If you have any questions or if you have any more tips for us, please set them up in the comments. Let me know if I missed something. Maybe more information you want to have cleared out. All that kind of stuff does help not only me in making this content a little bit better, but also helps other people that are looking for more information. Okay? I will see you all next time. Bye for now.